big space station, it's even bigger because we use, the ceiling and the floors also. This is the robotics workstation for the laboratory module. This is where we do our robotics from. You can see that we have our monitors here. We even have potential to put 2 more monitors when the shuttle comes, so we have a lot of use. Eventually, in the next year or so, we're going to have the cupola on our next node, node 3, and the cupola will be able to look outside. It has a lot of very beautiful windows, and then we have a robotics workstation. This one, the cupola robotics workstation, that'll fit there. We have a lot of computers everywhere. We have a printer, old-fashioned, but it works. And now we're going to go back into one of the first modules, node 1, which is also called Unity. This thing that's kind of blocking our view is the advanced resistive exercise device, and it's we put it together recently, and we're still checking it out. It still needs to be calibrated. But once it gets calibrated, we'll be exercising here every day, and it's big. This is a really huge device, but it also can do twice as much chances to work out. I think most people would say that the IRED, the interim resistive exercise device, you can maybe go up to 200 or 300 pounds. This one has the potential to go up to 600 pounds. So you can get much bigger loads. It works by using a vacuum system, so you can see these 2 big vacuum canisters right up here. And you can see as I flow backwards in the node 1 here, you can see how big that ARED is and how much room it takes up. And this is its stowed configuration. On the floor we have, and we're trying to change this because I don't think this is the best place, but everything in the space station world needs to be negotiated, and that's okay. We're not in a hurry, even though we're going fast. This is our pond, or wall of water that's down here. We have different kinds of water, and these are called contingency water containers, CWCs. And you can see different kinds. There's water that you can drink, and water that you can use for other things like flush water or generating oxygen. Now here's the airlock. As we go, the Quest airlock. I'll turn on some lights as we get in there. And usually we don't go in here every day. We do try to keep it fairly clean, and I'm in the middle of doing an inventory for the 15A crew as they come up here. The airlock is one of the few USOS, American-style modules that doesn't have a single light switch. You have to turn on every light as you need. But from here, many EVAs, extravehicular activity spacewalks, have been conducted. There's in the back of this room, this crew lock is a hatch that goes outside into space. So you can see that hatch right there. In the meantime, we're kind of storing EVA-related things here. You can see this is a safer, which is a kind of a jet backpack that we wear on the outside of our spacesuits in case we get separated from the spaceship. We can fly our way back in. Safer's pretty neat. The Russian spacesuits, which are many good things about them, but they don't have the safer. So this is all of our stuff as we're getting ready for STS-119. You can see already starting a tool bag. Usually, again, everything's spread out more than it usually is, but we're putting together many workstations for Swanee and Ricky and Joe as they get ready to go outside. So that's what the airlock looks like at the moment. Now, Node 1, originally brought up on STS-88, Node 1 is getting kind of crowded, and but there's also a lot of good places for storage. Here's our toolbox, one of my favorite places to go every day, and I have to go every day to the toolbox. We have a 0G stowage rack. The kind of things we have in here are computer parts usually. We have some lithium hydroxide canisters that the shuttle leaves on here in case we have a shuttle contingency. We throw away all of our empty food containers in here. And as we float up on the ceiling, we have a lot of places where we keep our office kind of things, paper, pens, things like that, as well as tools and scope meters and things like that. I remember being a Capcom on STS 96 when I first saw these signs. That's pretty amazing. Wireless access point. That's number one. We have 3 total. This is the pressurized mating adapter, PMA. And inside, this is where we keep all of our clothes. Not all of our clothes, because we've got a lot of clothes, but this is a lot of our clothes, as well as other soft goods like hygiene items, towels, wipes, shaving cream, shampoo, things like that. And we're floating into the Russian side of things. First and foremost, we are now in the pressurized adapter part of the functional cargo block. We call it the GAA, and it's also a docking port down below. As you carefully look down below, you can see the hatches, and inside that, what you can see in front of us is the docking mechanism for the Soyuz. The Soyuz is our launch vehicle. Yuri and I and Richard Garriott launched here. It's also our landing vehicle. Yuri and I are going to be landing in the Soyuz, along with Charles Simroni. Right now, it's our lifeboat in case anything goes wrong. So we have our lifeboat kind of things in here. Our spacesuits are ready. We still have a little bit of unpacking to do, but you can see things are really crowded in the FGB. That we thought it's best to leave it in the Soyuz, since we still have about 2 months before we go home. 2.5 months actually. So this is the living compartment, the BEO, and it's a bit cramped in here. And we'll stop in the BEO on our way up, and we'll just keep diving down in here, and we'll get into our landing module called the ESA, and this is the place where we sit for launch and landing. And this is Yuri's seat right here. My seat is right over there, and we'll sneak down in a little bit more, but it's really cramped. And Sandy's seat is right over here. Okay, this is inside the ESA, and you can see the Neptune panel. It's a glass cockpit, which is why this is the biggest feature between the new Soyuz TMA, it's relatively new, and the old Soyuz TMA, which stands for anthropometric, and that means also the panel got smaller glass cockpit, so taller people could get inside. There's a window, that's my seat over there, the flight data file, our checklist ready for us, and you can hear a fan running because we're always keeping ventilation too. So I'm going to come on up. It's very compact. There's not a lot of room. It makes it very efficient. Habitation module. We stay for a couple of days while after launch, and we're floated out to the space station. And this is one of our main containers where we have our food and everything like that. Control panel, vacuum gauge, things like that. So this is where we stayed for a couple of days, 2 days after launch. Got inside the huge, very big international space station. Okay, there's the front of the spacecraft. We have a lot of stowage here in the GAA. Now Yuri's been busy unloading the Progress. We just finished an EVA, so things here in the functional cargo block are very functional right now and very cargo-y. So you can see things are just really, really full here in the FGB. And again, you'll have to pardon us while we get our things together as we rebuild the space station from the inside. Expedition 18, that's our job, is to get ready for a 6-person crew. You can see there's a lot of containers. These metal containers hold water or urine, and that's what right now a lot of these are waiting for a ride back in the Progress. As we leave the FGB here and go into the docking compartment. Docking compartment is another one of those vertical looks, and it's a kind of a misnomer. It's not just docking compartment, but it's also a airlock. So Yuri and I went out in these 2 spacesuits a few weeks ago and went into open space and had a spacewalk. Continuing on down through here, we'll stop here on the way back, is our Progress cargo vehicle. The Progress is a cargo ship, unmanned, uncrewed, nobody driving. It has the same kind of docking compartment. It's very much based on the Soyuz design, except it doesn't have any re-entry capability. So you can see it's all empty now. Yuri had emptied it out, and now we're going to get ready to fill it up with a lot of the things that are in the FGB. You can see there's a lot of metal frames. We have to put those back together. Some assembly required. On the hatch, you can see these hatch clamps, the yellow ones. They help keep the Progress attached to the International Space Station. And we're going to take a look outside. And this is the hatch that I opened up and went outside for a spacewalk. And we're looking aft on the space station. There's a ladder, some solar panels. We're looking at the service module, Zvezda. And looking at our beautiful planet Earth. Let's see if you get a nice little view here of Earth. A little small treat. There's no tour of the space station would be complete without it. We're still over ocean right now, and I imagine we'll be getting over land fairly soon. If I can, I'll try to show it to you. So that's the control panel for the airlock. A couple of hatches here, some ducting through the hatches. And last but not least, in the service module, Zvezda, which means star. It's the heart of the space station. It's where we used to have the only place where we could create oxygen and live with the carbon dioxide removal system, as well as a place to eat and sleep. Here's my crewmate, Yuri Lonchikov, exercising on the treadmill with vibration isolation system, the TVIS. Yuri, скажи привет. Hi. There's Yura. And also you could see the sun wasn't glaring so much. You could actually see the starboard side of the space station, and you can only see that there's one set of huge American solar arrays. So carefully backing out so not to bump into Yuri. See the very aft end of the space station. Now again, there's a lot of things in there because we're getting ready to load up the Progress. Here's our number 1 bathroom. Turning on the lights. It looks the same as the other one with the same toilet.